All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast that happens once a quarter, it seems. Welcome, welcome back to Shut Up and Enjoy, the podcast not from a lack of effort, where we review and evaluate and discuss pretty much everything and anything and everything we want because it's our podcast and we can do whatever the hell we want with it.
What we wanted.
So this week we're going to be discussing Wicked and to my surprise going in, part one,
Yeah, they got us good on that.
because okay, marketing. Yeah. So Wicked with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, as well as Jonathan Bailey's Fiero. We got Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard. Stacked cast, but
Yeah.
I will say my opening impressions were talk about a movie I didn't think we needed or wanted at all, but now I guess we do.
Yes. So I am in that same boat. I didn't know. Well, of course, everyone knew the movie was coming out.
Yeah.
Because we know about movies and they're coming out, whatever. I did know about the musical. I did know about the book. I've never seen the musical, never read the book. This was not on my list of things to see.
Popular fan fiction because it's not lost at all. A fan fiction turned Broadway play, now turned silver screen masterpiece.
Yes, and it is a masterpiece. Chef's kiss.
It is. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I had no expectations going into it. It was one of those things where it's like, I got a few hours to kill because Thanksgiving dinner is at 1:30 for whatever stupid ass reason. So after 4 o'clock, I had a bunch of time to kill before bed. So I went and saw it on Thanksgiving, and it was good.
Yeah.
I knew the general story plot of it, where it was the Wicked Witch of the West and Glinda the Good's like origin story.
Origin story, their background story.
Yeah, and how she became the Wicked Witch of the West. While we kind of know how it ends, I don't actually know how it ends. I have some friends who I've been talking about who have read the book, have seen the play and all that stuff now.
Okay.
I'm so excited to know what you think because like right now to me, Glinda seems like the jackass villain.
yeah.
Like the superficial, like the plastics from Mean Girls.
Yeah. Yes, that is a great
And like she's
analogy
built up like she's not supposed to be the good guy, but then in The Wizard of Oz, she is the good guy. But is everyone just that superficial? And I guess there's a big ballad that she does that will be in the second part, kind of solidifies her position as to not actually being as terrible as we thought she was.
Okay.
I think she is.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see. But really get so I think we talked about this after you saw it because I had my thoughts. I saw it before you did, and I had my thoughts on something that I thought was a little bit weird. And that was the color palette and the color tone. And I just wanted to be sure after you saw it that it was my theater
Yeah.
no, I that had the issues.
I think one thing that's hard with a movie like this is there's so much of so few colors. All of the greens, it was green and yellow heavy.
Yes.
Which aren't often two colors we see used that much.
Even though we have it
Yeah.
right back here.
Which I think is weird because usually it's more blues and blue
Reds.
hues or red hues to movies that we see.
Yeah.
So I think it was also new, but I do also think your theater might have been a little jacked up because the balance on and the contrast seemed fine in my theater. Like that wasn't anything that I picked up on
Okay.
that came up while I was watching the movie.
All right.
So
Well, good. I'll definitely have to see it again. Now, will that be in the theaters? Because I think it's still there. Now we're now, I think, 3 or 4 weeks past
mhm.
when it was released. I think it's actually gone. If it hasn't gone over $1 billion, it's very close to
Yeah.
going over $1 billion. I know my theater was sold out. The whole
Mhm.
every showing was sold out. And typically, as we do, we went on opening night. Uh, that's when the boys like to go opening night. Got to be the first. Got to be the first.
Oh
No,
yes. Oh yeah.
don't want anything spoiled. My son actually like to do the spoiling, but that's a whole other story. Um, so we went and saw it on opening night, and very, very crowded theater. A lot of people dressed up, which I
Okay.
thought was pretty cool.
Okay.
As well. And maybe for part two, maybe I'll dress up or something. I'll be the wizard.
Did anyone sing?
No, because I think at that point they had already did the whole "please don't sing"
Mhm.
type thing for moviegoers to let them know
Okay.
that. Well, so they did that, and then I think one of the other theater chains came out and actually made it like a mandate that you couldn't sing.
Yeah, I thought like coming up like next week or something, they're gonna release like a sing-along version
I wouldn't
in
be.
some
Oh
theaters.
man, that would be perfect because you can also get people who saw it already
Yeah.
who want to go back and have that experience with it, and that might
Mhm.
also be my son because he loves it.
So the opening of the movie was the end of The Wizard of Oz, the
Right.
immediate aftermath of Dorothy's home and the witch is dead.
Yeah. Ding dong, what you
The
did.
wizard is gone.
Yes.
We don't necessarily see that at the end of The Wizard of Oz, I don't think.
I don't think so.
But
Look at
then,
us not doing our research for the pod.
I mean, we're only going on like 100 years, the century anniversary of that movie. Um, but it was it was interesting to almost one of those things where you see the ending in the beginning
Hmm.
type of thing, and not often is that done well. I think I've said something like this with some other types of with some other shows that have done stuff like this, where it's you hear the big explosion and then 3 hours earlier from and you follow Dante throughout the day, and then
Yeah.
3 hours earlier you follow Chris throughout the day.
Yeah.
And it was short. It set up the story, and then it dealt with like we
Right.
didn't revisit it or anything.
Right.
So I think they did it very effectively in that quick opening, what, 10 minutes of it?
Yes, and then essentially the rest of the movie is Glenda's telling
Mhm.
of how she actually knows
Now
the
that
witch.
the theories already are flying, because once you come out of go through the window and you see the monkeys flying off and the camera pans down,
Mhm.
you see someone riding off on a horse.
Yes. I
Is she dead?
don't know.
Or is this a master conspiracy theory that's going to completely undermine all of Oz and unravel the entirety of one of the oldest, most classic movies to have ever been created?
It's possible, but again, it's fan fiction.
It is not canon, as you would
Right.
say.
I actually want to see the musical now
Yeah.
and how it all relates.
Mhm. I almost don't want to see it before
Oh,
part
definitely.
two.
Oh no, no, no.
Yeah.
I'm invested in this now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no musical or no book until after the
Yes.
because I don't want to be one of those.
They didn't line up. The movie's nothing like the books. Shut up.
I don't want my experience ruined.
Well, speaking movie not like the books, everyone being like, why aren't the slippers ruby? Who's wearing the ruby slippers? Like they made them ruby to dramatize the technicolor. And in the original book, they were silver. Like
Calm down.
Guys, throw me a bone. Like, just don't be this fucking stupid
So
or care that much.
to kind of piggyback on that, it's funny that as you're going through and you're watching it and you
Mm.
see how they okay, we have some flowers and things falling back here.
That's fine.
Yeah, looks like it's a little dead.
It had a quick bloom.
Sorry. At shiny thing. It took me a little bit to realize, even though they focused on those shoes a few times during the film, it took me a second to realize, oh wait, oh yeah, that's her sister. Oh, the house. Oh shit.
So Ness is about to get pancaked.
Yeah.
I have questions. I have questions though because Homegirl's in a wheelchair. We just gonna gloss over that one. Homegirl's in a wheelchair and
Yeah.
gets a house bricked on her.
Yes.
Like, what the hell?
And then our shoes just taken off the dead body. It's like just go ahead and you had those.
Is this the cancel comment where I said clearly she wasn't putting many miles on him?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Send our comments too.
PR at shutupandenjoy.com.
Oh man.
I need to go away.
Yeah. That's all
Um,
right.
so it was a really long movie.
Yes, damn near 3 hours.
It went with 247 or something.
Yeah, it's extremely long. They said that this one part is longer than the
An entire
entirety
play.
of the musical.
So
That's
going back to what you were saying with like you and I want to see the musical, I want to see what they added, what they cut out, what they brought in. Like, is the lion the cowardly lion that she saved from like the class that Fiero took out? Like, is it all of that stuff?
I think again because knowing or watching so many movies and so many TV
Mhm.
shows, it's kind of like the Chekhov's gun. If you see it, it's a reason why it's there, so it's got to be a
There's a reason she used poppies that came up in the
Right.
classroom
Right.
because that's what put Dorothy to sleep in
Right.
the original one, and opium.
Yeah. So I'm thinking yes, that is going to be the Cowardly Lion. So now that we've seen this part one and we've seen the original Wizard of Oz, now the tie-in, how it all comes together, and that's what we're going to get here in part two,
And
in a year.
right.
Thanks for that.
And then 3 months later, we're gonna get the YouTube supercut of it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that'll be fun.
Absolutely.
That'll be a thing to witness.
And then by that time, perhaps we'll,
I've seen the play
yeah,
and caught up on every other episode that we want to do.
yeah.
So
Fingers crossed.
let's talk cast.
Okay.
Who is the biggest surprise?
Ariana Grande was by far the biggest surprise for me. My kids used to watch her show, Sam and Cat, I think it was. And I think she was on another one, Victorious, maybe. And in that, she was just a silly little ditzy little
She was a Disney star, Nickelodeon
Yes,
star.
yes, yes. So and we're talking over a decade ago,
Mhm.
but that's still the image that I have of her. Now I know she's a mega music star and all these other things that she's done and do the great, great lengths, but I still see that
Mhm.
as the first thing in my head.
What do you think of Ariana Grande?
As a person or just in this movie.
As a person, like that's still the image.
Still,
Like when you hear Ariana Grande, that's
That-
brain goes.
that's the
Yeah.
first thing it goes to. But in this film, she rushed it. Rushed it.
Mhm.
And not only with the singing, the dancing, the actual acting, she was borderline hilarious in this
Yes.
damn thing.
She
The
played
timing,
that
the
part
comedy.
The inflection she
Yes,
had on
yes,
everything. Yes.
everything was just top notch.
Yes. And it didn't seem forced. It actually seemed like the character.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yeah. So totally took me all away from all that old stuff
Mhm.
that she used to be a part of. So kudos to Ariana.
Big kudos.
Yes.
She was definitely someone who I was like, that was a choice. I I guess I didn't necessarily I knew it was a musical, but
Mhm.
still not real so I would have thought maybe they would have pulled someone from Broadway
Mhm.
to do it. I wasn't against Ariana. I was just like, it seems more like a box office grab. You're getting a top 40 pop singer to come in. It seems like a box office grab.
Right.
Turns out it wasn't. I was wrong. You see, everyone, it's okay to
It's
admit you
okay
were
to be,
wrong.
it's okay to
This is
admit
a
it.
safe space. Um, for me, one of the biggest surprises, and not a big role, at least in this part, Peter Dinklage
Ah,
as
yes.
Dr. Dillamon.
Yes.
Um, did not realize, and I took a pause and I was like,
I know that voice. I know it.
that goat drinks and it knows things, and it conspires.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh,
Hmm.
just uh, no notes.
Yeah.
Next,
10
Jeff Goldblum, phenomenal wizard. He's got the like pop and zing in his
Yes.
step, but also could be the very well done like the evil guy, the
Hmm.
bad guy who created the whole plot to get rid of the animals and essentially go through like eugenics
Hmm.
in Oz because that that's a thing. And finally, the continued on that with the plot is that's what Elphaba and Glinda realize that the wizard is doing. And then Elphaba is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what are you doing?
That's no
You gotta
good.
chill with that.
Even after like the Grimmery and giving the monkeys flight, um, that's when she is then painted as the bad guy, and you get the Defying Gravity
Right.
anthem ballad.
Big number.
Yeah,
The big number.
yeah. But yeah, it was very well done. I was gripped and brought
Yes. Into that world.
into the world. Yeah.
Hmm.
Especially from the point of view because it was mostly told from Elphaba's point of view, but there was enough Glinda in there that you could kind of see both, you felt for both of them.
Yes. Yes.
And then we have fucking Fiero, who's just dancing through life.
Yes.
That bookcase though. Swirly turn.
Yes, yes, and all practical.
Yes.
That set was a practical set where they actually did the that number
Mhm.
in the library with the rotating bookcases and ladders and people flying around and flipping around and all sorts of stuff. So
Insane.
that was fantastic.
The choreography in that number had better win something.
Yes, yes.
So well done. Even in the oh, shit, what is this feeling?
Hmm.
The one that's been all over fucking TikTok. That one was pretty good, and the vocals and musical, I guess, accompaniment or just the score on it was phenomenal.
Mhm.
Again, no notes.
Yeah,
No notes.
yeah. This was everything was well done.
Yeah,
And
from start to finish,
yes.
they thought a lot about it. They did use um some green screen effects, but for the most part, they really stuck with um like practical
Hmm.
built sets, which I think really enhanced and it helped the actors to get into the
Yes.
scene more. Like they're
Yes.
climbing on the ladders, as you said,
Yes.
they're up on the clock tower in Oz, they can project more like that. I think that really does bring out a better performance, and
I agree.
I think it shows. And
Yes. And everything was sung live on
yes,
set too, which
yeah,
is amazing.
especially when she's like broomsticking around, doing
Flying
flips
around
with like
and
a
everything.
corset on and
Yeah.
everything, like Banas. Um, yeah. When does part two come out? Next Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think a year from now, or maybe 11 months. But
So do they film both at the same time?
I believe they did, because you know how everything goes. We did see some previous trailers that had some shots in it that
Mhm.
would lead you to believe it's going to be in the second movie. Could also be on the cutting room floor. We don't know.
True.
But I would imagine that if you have all that stuff built
Mhm.
and done already, then you would just run it straight through.
Mhm.
Be easier that way.
One thing I do want to go back to that I think is the first turning point for the characters
Mm-hmm.
is the scene in the Ozdust ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, when Elphaba comes in, she gets Professor
Maribel, yeah.
Marvell, um, Easter egg, um, to bring Glinda in to the lessons,
Mm-hmm.
and then she steps in. That whole change of going from unadulterated loathing to that I thought was a little weird. I can chalk that up to like musical theater, like we can't hang on every single detail thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a little weird where they went from that to then Glinda giving Alphaba the hat because it was hideous and ugly, and who do we hate that much? To did Elphaba then think that that was a sincere gift, and that's why she got Glinda in? Because that almost seems like it's downplaying Elphaba's intelligence. Be like she's smarter than that to almost fall for a cheat. But like, and it could just be coming from my cynical point of view that like the popular kid would never hang out with the nerd. Like, what are your thoughts on that whole? Because that was a quick turnaround.
I'm trying to remember if which came first. Were they already training together before she gave the hat, or after?
No, because Madame Marble, they were in classes together, but Glinda wasn't with Michelle Yeoh in the private lessons because that's when she gives her the training wand.
Okay. So perhaps it was just after they danced together at the ball is when, okay, maybe she ain't so bad because she helped me out when everybody was staring at me, looking at me funny.
It was just the timing and pacing of that just seemed a little weird to me. And I probably need to watch it again.
Maybe that's the point, to get you to watch it again.
But that was like the only slight speed bump in it. But the scene where she starts dancing and then Glinda goes in and then everyone goes in was very, I mean, it was very emotional.
Yes. Yes, it
I don't
was.
think there was a single dry eye in the entire theater at that
My
point.
eye was dry because I don't cry, man. Dry eye.
The fuck out of here with that bullshit. Um, but yeah, it was a really, really powerful scene, and I think they did a really good job of highlighting cliques, not classes. Because the whole movie is kind of like classist supremacy a little bit.
Yes.
But within that, you have the cliques that were the popular kids, the unpopular kids, and
It was high school.
yeah. And a love triangle that's actually done well because all three of them actually like each other.
Is it
Like,
even a triangle or is it like a quadrilateral? It's all over the place.
oh, because of Buck.
Yeah, Bach and Messer Rose. So it's everyone.
Pentagon?
Yeah.
But even like the main part of that of Glinda, Elphaba, and Fiero, they all like each other, and they're like they want each one of them to be happy, but don't know how to make each one of them happy without
Mhm.
making another one sad.
Mhm.
Um, and then Buck is just fawning over Glinda because pretty popular
Yeah.
kid.
And he's a munchkin.
Like a 6 foot munchkin.
Yeah.
The fuck with that? Like, okay. Not gonna lie, when I saw Peter Dinklage in the credits, originally,
He was gonna be a
the
munchkin.
new Warwick Davis.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, I was confused. Like in the beginning, did she go to Munchkin Land? Because they're all 6 foot something.
Hmm.
But yeah, so very emotional movie, very suspenseful, oddly action packed.
It
Like
was.
the
Yes.
final fight scene, if
Yeah.
you call it that, was really cool.
Yeah. Lot going on. A lot of flying around. The hot air balloon and all
Hmm
that good stuff. So yeah.
The cameos from
Hmm.
Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel,
Hmm.
where they both immediately, where Idina Menzel had the moment she was picking Alphaba up, and Kristen Chenoweth was like, "I'm talking now. This is my line. I'm talking now." Was exactly as I would expect both of
Yeah.
them to act in or out of character.
Yes.
Um,
I thought that was good to see. Definitely good to see that.
yes,
Yeah.
nice surprise too.
Yeah. Even though I've never seen the music.
But what? Which's hats are broomsticks or buckets of water? How are we rating this one?
Broomsticks.
Broomsticks?
Yeah.
How many broomsticks do we give
I'm gonna
Winking
go
Part One?
full 10 broomsticks. I am going full 10. It was a fantastic film,
Mm-hmm.
highly entertaining, enjoyable, made sense. It was emotional.
Highly anticipated. We did not have like it was fresh. It was new.
Yes,
Like it
yes,
wasn't another superhero movie, another
yes,
Fast and the Furious
yes.
movie, another Star Wars movie. Like it wasn't what we've been getting, or a Hollywood patting itself
Yeah,
on the back Babylon
yeah.
movie. It was actually something new and different, and while it was emotionally heavy, it almost was still it had a lightness to
Yeah,
it that
yeah.
I thought was really cool. So yeah, I would agree. 10 broomsticks. Absolutely.
So what do you guys think?
Let us know in the comments, I think, below.
Yeah.
However this posts, I don't really know. But all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode, where we were reviewing Wicked. As Dante said, let us know what you guys think. Did you like it? Did you not? Are you wrong? Are you right? That's for us to decide. Uh, but anyway, we will catch you next fiscal quarter with another episode. And until then, stay classy.